You can have quizzes that are, the key is to not give yourself too much work. You already have a lot of grading. If you're assigning things like on a weekly or even daily basis, you want to make sure they're easy to grade, not adding too much to your workload. So you can do things like fill in the blank or multiple choice things that are just to make sure they read the piece. They don't have to be philosophical questions, but something like on this page, so-and-so makes this sort of claim, which is the right one, that kind of thing. So they can be easy to grade things that just measure whether or not this person read it, and you make it enough of a portion of their grade that there's incentive for them to really do these things and not just bomb out on the quizzes. You need to set up your grade book such that they will hurt if they do that. The other one that's maybe a little bit better in certain ways is assigning short writing assignments, so brief, maybe one page, one paragraph responses to a reading, or maybe to a philosophical question that the reading deals with. Again, it's tricky because you don't want to give yourself a bunch of writing to grade all the time. So a lot of times the way that I and my colleagues have done that is you give that, these are more like, they get a check or a check plus or a minus, right, and something like 10 points for doing it. So it is more of a quick perusal, even a skim, and like, okay, check, maybe you choose a couple to grade a little more difficultly. So, and they know that this is happening, like, oh, there's more writing on this one, so you push them to perform a bit more. But those are two ways to do it. Also, if you assign a short writing assignment, then you have a nice prompt for a discussion session in class. So, all right, this question is something that we're going to discuss. Now you've already had a chance to think about it and actually do some writing about it. Bring your work in with you and we're going to talk about this, or share your responses with others in small groups. That can be a nice preamble to a small group discussion. They all have something they can talk about that they've all weighed in on. Besides that, one of the things I've struggled with as a teacher, as an AI, and I've tried to get better at is, and I think a lot of early new AIs have trouble with this, is getting used to the idea that you aren't supposed to do all the work to make the class go well. They are supposed to contribute, and you should, hold them to that. If they have not prepared, the class could be awkward and uncomfortable and have a lot of silence in it. And that's okay. And that's not on you, that's on them. Because I think there is a sense of, I think I had the role, or I took on the feeling that my role is partly to not entertain them, but something like that, right? I'm here to make sure this goes well. It's all on me if there's an uncomfortable silence or things aren't flowing smoothly. Everyone is going to contribute, not just the particularly vocal people. That's another tricky thing to negotiate.
So do you usually try to wait them out, or do you have some strategies for what to do when there's that silence and they're not?
I do try to wait them out, and lately, even though I don't, and a lot of people I know don't like the kind of shotgun approach or the got you question, like, you, Susie, what do you think? I've started to do that more, and I try to do it in a way that doesn't feel, I don't want to make it feel shaming or putting them on the spot or embarrassing them. But I will do that more now. I will, first off, wait them out. I'll make things be a little quiet and uncomfortable. And I will say, what did you think about this, Mark? And if people a few times don't have anything to say, hopefully that becomes some motivation to be like, well, maybe I should prepare, next time. I think especially if you have a classroom atmosphere that's not antagonistic,